Ph.D. antiques appraiser, author, and nationally syndicated columnist, Dr. Lori is back with us this morning. She's the doctor who knows what's trash and what's treasure when it comes to antiques. And today, something really special because she's appraising some items brought in by our very own staff and crew right here at the Balancing Act. Now, you should pay attention at home because you just might have some similar items in your own home. So you'll find out if they're valuable or if they're not valuable. Hey, Dr. Lori, good to see you again.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you.
You know what? It's so funny. You can't see this, but everybody's standing around. How much is it worth? How much is it worth? They want us to get started, so let's get started.
All right. Okay. So make some, I don't know, big bonus checks maybe.
Let's do it.
Okay. Here's what you've got. You've got a painting here.
And this is whether we should say from Francine, who is an executive assistant at the Balancing Act.
Francine's painting. You can learn a lot from the back of a painting. Look at the stretcher. That's this wooden part that you stretch the canvas around, right? The canvas here has actually been cut and then reapplied to this particular one. So there's a canvas on top of another canvas.
Okay.
Okay. This one dates to about the 1920s when we look back to the early 1800s and value on it about $400.
Whoa!
Nice.
Francine!
But it's been repaired.
You said it's been through a little bit.
It's been through a little bit. She's
sure.
been through some stuff.
No, okay. Haven't we all? All right.
We all, right. Okay, that's why we do the makeup. Okay.
Yes.
Basically, these are, of course, hand beaded pocketbooks.
Okay, and Tiffany, who are these from? Brenda, I'm asking our producer, Brenda. We want to make sure Brenda gets her just due. All right, so.
Brenda's first beaded pocketbook is by a company named Whiting & Davis, very, very famous for these types of pocketbooks. That one's worth about $45 to $145.
That's not bad at all.
And people go, that's a really wide range, but you know what? You see them online a little bit lower than you might in the shops.
Okay.
And then this other one is mesh, trying to look like it's beaded. That one's only worth $15 to $25.
Oh, that one's trying to fake the funk. That's trying to look like it's
That's right, that's right.
That's okay.
This particular piece is an early model, one of the many different models of course, the projector.
Okay.
Film projector.
All right, this is one of our executive assistants here at the Balancing Act, by the way.
That makes sense, because you know you guys are in the film industry, so those collectors might enjoy that. This particular piece is not unlike the ones that would have to have an application for a patent. So you have to actually make the machine and then say, here's how my machine works, will you give me a patent for it? Okay. Value on that about $100.
Okay, hey, listen, not bad.
This is based on sales records where similar pieces have sold.
All right, right. So what they've sold for, so that's what you can base this on.
Gotcha. That's how an honest appraiser does it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
This is an Italian market tree table.
This is beautiful, and this is Francine again, the same young lady who had this.
All inlaid wood. Okay, and this table, the idea of this table, all the different decorations and the different types of satin wood and, of course, oak and a little bit of cherry and maple. And basically when you open it up, it plays music. So it's a music box as well. It also is a jewelry box. That's why we have a little tiny key
in the front. Okay.
Value on these about $500, these end tables. All of this handwork.
Francine, $400, $500, $900.
Yeah,
good for
Francine. It's around your house. I'm going to move this back.
Okay, I'll take this down for you. I'll let you go ahead and get started on the next one. Yep,
and then we have this piece. This is a fabulous piece of sculpture.
And for a fabulous person, this is Alex. He is one of our editors here at the Balancing Act. Yes.
Well, I don't know if this was a gift or how Alex acquired it, but this is the Bedouin Dancer, very, very famous late 19th century bronze cast sculpture in beautiful condition by a very well-known artist. It dates to about 1880 and value on it about $5,000.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Are
you kidding me?
Works of art, good quality, beautiful execution, fabulous.
$5,000, and I made a joke with him. I said, what if she said it was worth $5,000? What would you do? Because he said he's not going to get rid of it.
He shouldn't.
Said, but what if she says it's worth $5,000? He said, I'd have to think about that.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
It only will increase in value over time. If he's a young man, he should hold on to it. Hold on to it.
Alex, good for you.
Okay, and this?
This is Francine again, by the way.
Okay,
Francine just got a house full of
Francine just
stuff.
brought everything from the house. All right. This particular piece is a piece of unmarked pottery. Just because it's not marked doesn't mean it's not valuable.
Okay.
This piece is made in America, hand painted in what's called moriage, wet slipware. You can feel the texture of it. Feel it?
Oh, yes.
Value on that about $90.
$90.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we have this piece, another piece of ceramic.
And this is Jessica.
Jessica. And the bottom of this is a beautiful image of a crown and words that you're going to recognize. It says made in Italy, Capodimonte.
Capodimonte.
Which means it is made by the famous pottery manufacturing firm Capodimonte in Naples.
That sounds like some money.
That's some money. Okay. This piece dates to between 1920 and 1940, and value on this piece is going to be about $375.
Wonderful.
Very nice. Very nice.
Right.
Original silk, Asian. This one's made in China.
And this is Christine. She's our studio coordinator here at the Balancing Act.
Okay. And this, of course, robe, I don't know how she acquired it, but it's in very good condition. Minor inclusions, right? But silk is hard to keep pristine.
It is.
So you have to keep it out of acid boxes, like cardboard boxes, and away from your drawers. Wooden drawers are bad for it too.
Ah, okay.
Maybe in a white pillowcase would be a good place. And then you want to wrap it in acid-free tissue paper. Value on this, which dates to about the 1940s, is going to be worth anywhere between $200 and $210.
Yay, Christine! That's
nice.
wonderful.
Now we're looking at some artwork.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're looking at some pieces that are framed, in fact.
Oh, that's pretty. They're at the end there.
Yeah, you want to start here?
Wherever you want to start, sweetie.
Okay, well, let's start right here. Oh, we'll go left to right.
And this is Howard, by the way. Howard's the guy behind the camera who doesn't want to be on camera. we're going to get a shot of Howard when he's not looking. Especially if it's worth some money. We'll get that expression.
Okay.
We'll get that money
This
shot.
particular piece, we were talking about, is it the Netherlands? Is it Germany? A typical European piece, Northern Europe. And you can see a signature at the bottom. The signature usually relates to the printer, not the artist.
Okay.
Because these are printed in such large numbers. This particular piece, look at the brown haze over all of it.
I see it.
That's called acid burning. It's from an acid mat, because prior to having acid-free mats, you have this sort of mats that literally will burn, or basically the print acts like a sponge.
Like a sponge, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have that brown haze. That brown haze is not age, it's damage. Value on this piece, age of this piece, 1880 to 1895.
Wow, okay.
They're very, very popular in the 1920s in America when people tend to buy them. This one still has an acidic mat on it, which should be changed out. Value on it about $1,200.
Howard! Woo, you should Howard for like this.
Ooh, yeah, I'm liking it.
Good
the frame
job.
adds another $100. Remember, you appraise the frame and the work of art
Gotcha.
separately.
Okay.
This piece is a piece, of course, of the famous Peanuts character, a great animation cell, and the original drawing. To have them together is quite common, however, it impacts value. The fact that you have the set together is very important. So you have a piece signed first by Schultz, also by Melendez, who is the famous, of course, cartoonist. You're going to see the lower element, or the hand drawing in pencil and graphite. That piece worth $1,200, and the actual animation cell, which is layered, as you well know.
Yeah.
That particular top piece is going to bring another $4,000.
Holy cow, Dr. Lori,
Talking
we
some
are
cash.
racking up some cash here on the Balancing Act.
Make sure that you don't display it in a light room, a room that gets a lot of sunlight, and not in front of a window or on an exterior door where a doorway goes in and out.
Sure, good advice.
Okay, and this one here is the Sebastian. That's a hand-colored lithograph, a nice piece, contemporary.
Whose is this one, Tiff? Oh, this is Taro, another one of our employees here at the Balancing Act.
Okay, the frame around it is about $250 because of its size, and the wood, if you have to replace that, costs you some bucks, and about $550 for the print.
How nice is all of that? That's great. All right, so after you figured out the value of your item, what's the next step then? that
After you
should
had
take?
an honest appraiser like me tell you the value
Sure.
on today's market, and the market will fluctuate. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to ask you, so then what do you do?
Okay.
Once you know how much, how much it's worth?
If you want to sell it, best thing to do is open it up to a global marketplace, right? You can go to the internet and do that. You want to make sure that you have the background on the item. And if you can document its history, a lot of the staff would say, oh, I don't know anything about it. Well, now you know a little more.
Now
So
you do.
write that down, document it. Even if you're documenting your own history, it still counts. It doesn't have to be some fancy schmancy expert.
Oh, well, listen, we're glad we have you as a fancy schmancy expert here praising this stuff for our Balancing Act coworkers. Great stuff. And thank you so much, Dr. Lori, for coming by.
Happy to do it. A lot of nice stuff, interesting things.
Isn't that something? Wonderful
Yeah.
things here. And for antique appraisal tips of your own, or to find out how you can get an appraisal from Dr. Lori, just visit her website. It's drloriv.com.